Hey guys, how's it going? Octopus here, and welcome back to a new year and a new tier. I want to start off by wishing you all a happy New Year's. I hope you had a blast. I was with family. I had Anthony and Simone show up during New Year's, and Penelope was sleeping exactly at 12 o'clock, which is all right. But we're going to jump in and we're going to talk about this new trio plus the special medal you guys get if you get all three or at least 3 of them with 5 traits on them. You get the special TVA medal, Terra, Ventus, and Aqua, which all these medals are the strongest medals in the game right now. They're non-mercy, even if you buy VIP. So we're gonna talk about all of them, but for the most part, if it's not a mercy pull, guys, it's a skip. I automatically tell you guys to skip these banners. You guys can go for your lucky pulls, you guys can go for the chases, but my biggest advice is that these banners don't turn out good, because you'll probably end up with like 20 or 30 trait rolls if you try to go crazy, or maybe even 5 trait rolls and get nothing out of it. The bonus of that, though, there might be a high score challenge, and one of those trait rolls might be good on the pet slot for 21% or 26%, whatever they're gonna do with that. So if you do your one lucky pull on one of these banners, at least you got that going for you if they do a high score challenge. But we're gonna talk about these medals and how they are. Just that straight up advice is right there, guys. Just skip it because the banner is a non-mercy for everybody. So let's start off with, it doesn't matter which one I start off. The trio are all the same. They do exactly the same, but for their respective attributes being speed, power, and magic. And they're all upright, so no reverse buffs. So the first thing, which is obvious, is that these are tier 9s, the first tier 9s in the game, which equals 280% max guild, which is crazy. And I can't wait till we get copycat medals that have 280% max guild, because we can copy old medals with a high base multiplier to get even more damage than we did before. So it's going to be really exciting with these tier 9s. I want to see the copy medals as soon as possible. Please and thank you. But these are the first tier 9 medals in the game, 280% guild compared to tier 8's 230% guild, which is really something to look at. So we'll start off Ventus over here. These are 2-turn buffers. They give you 15 speed strength, 8 upright strength. You lower the enemy's 15 speed defense down, so that's maxed out, so you don't have to worry about nothing else, and 15 upright defense down, maxed out as well, which is really cool. And they give 140% guilt increase, which is weird because if you come down here and if you guys pull the new Kingdom Hearts 3 Kairi, she gives 150%. So if you do have her, that 140% doesn't really matter. Even if you carry it over, if you do have more Kairis or Shion medals, then it's not gonna really help you having those 2 turns there for 140%, unless your middle Keyblade in PvP is a non-buffer one where you do need that 140% carrying over if it's not a throwaway Keyblade. But it's still pretty interesting that they did that compared to that 150% as a new buffer. Any other medal below 150%, it just doesn't matter. Unless this has overwrite, then it would overwrite it, but it doesn't, so it's not like it's affecting that. It just means almost nothing. Correct me if I'm wrong, though, if I'm missing something there. But like I said, the difference is speed for Ventus. Our board Terra here, he's got 15 for power and 15 down for power on the enemy, and then obviously Aqua is for magic. So all 3 of these medals do exactly the same when it comes to those buffs and debuffs, but only according to their attribute. They do more than that, though. They also have something weird about them. So they do more damage. Let me get that out of the way. They do more damage with 1 enemy left. So they do AoE of 41.95, and if it's 1 enemy, like a raid boss, a boss, PvP, they got a multiplier of 59.13, which is bigger than Luxord's RNG 57, because it can either be 38 or 57. These are solid 59.13 in PvP and any single enemy, which is crazy. But they got this one thing here. Costs additional 2 gauges. So if you go look at the update and you scroll all the way down here, so what this means is basically the additional gauge cost is always there no matter what. So if you don't have an attack boost 8 max SP gauge 0 on your Keyblade, you're gonna cost 4. The initial cost is 4 plus 2. So this medal costs 6 to cast. Well, not this medal, but all the medals cost 6 to cast. But if you were to use an SP gauge 0, it would 0 plus 2, which equals 2 gauges required to use. So no matter what, these medals are always going to cost you 6 gauges without an attack boost max SP gauge 0, or 2 gauges plus whatever the SP gauge is. SP gauge 1 means it's going to cost you 3, and SP gauge 2 attack boost is going to cost you 4. So it's weird that they put that there. I don't know what they're planning. They might be, I don't know. Kyrie's restore 10 gauges, so it's really weird to put that there. There's probably something I haven't been looking at in. Something happened and they're like, wow, we need to make medals not stop doing zeros, nothing but zeros. So that is there. And also they increase the enemy's counters +1. So that means anything with a counter will always increase to +1. Doesn't matter if the medal does 50 hits. The blue counters will go from 51 to 52 or 1 to 2 to 3. So it's really good that it ignores the enemy's counters and adds it to +1, which is really nice. So Birth by Sleep Trio, solid medal. You guys can't go wrong with them. They fit on the fairy stars like nothing. You have Kyrie over here on the first turn. Just use your supernova for Kyrie, so Terra gets all the buffs and debuffs. Then you activate her twice if you have extra attack. If you don't, it doesn't matter, because the Birth by Sleep Trio take care of what Kyrie doesn't have. Kyrie misses 3 attribute strength up and 3 attribute defense down on the enemy, and of course 8 upright and 8 defense down for upright as well. And like I just said, the Birth by Sleep Trio, they take care of all that. Exactly 8 upright strength up and maxed out 15, so it doesn't even matter. So when you do use that fairy stars, you're just looking at a full perfect Keyblade, and you can use Shion to copy the Ventus if you want to. So pure destruction on this. And then pet slot, whatever you want. If you've got that new one, the new medal, boom, a whole Birth by Sleep Keyblade, except for this. Just wait till a reverse one comes out from Birth by Sleep. Maybe Master Xehanort will be over here, who knows. But they are really incredible. They're really strong. They got everything going for them. Let's talk about this one, because this is the unique one that I just put on the pet slot. You can't get this medal unless you spend a lot of jewels, 45,000 jewels plus, or be ridiculously lucky, and I'm gonna talk about that in a second. So same thing as the other ones. It is 2 turns, but it gives all attribute strength, so it does red, blue, and green, which is power, strength, and magic, for strength up and defense down, where these guys that I just showed you, they only do it for themselves, magic, speed, or power. So he takes care of all 3. Same exact buff, 8 and 15, but he does give the 150% and a carryover for 2 turns. So he's got that going for him, and he also increases the enemy's counter to +5, which is huge. So that is really, really good. Highest multiplier in the game by far, a 65 multiplier compared to, again, Luxord's 57. Or if you want to go to our high score challenge medals, our high score challenge medals are 53.66. So that 65 multiplier, whoever gets this medal, it's going to be crazy good. The only thing is, if you guys do get this medal, you don't get trait rolls on it, I'm pretty sure. So I'm pretty sure they just give you a copy of this with no traits. So that's why it's kind of ridiculously overpowered. It's not going to have extra attack. It's not going to have -60. It's not going to have any of that. It's just a really good attacking medal with a lot of utility, which is nice. And a counter +5 on attacking medal with that much strength is pretty OP, if you ask me, when it comes to content that has enemies with one starting with 1 counter, but it is single target and not AoE, where the Birth by Sleep Trio is AoE for a certain multiplier. So you do got that going. Even though it says damage with more than 1 enemy, it's not an AoE into a single target. Besides that, yeah, it's straightforward. It just does what it does, and that's it. Each one of these medals are supernova. The supernova is unique now. It's the first time they did this where it's conditional. So meaning it damage for 1 enemy or less, 0 parts on the raid boss. That's what I meant. So if you do have a single enemy, it's going to give you the guilt damage of 150. If there's multiple enemies, it's going to do 100 instead, which is interesting because that wasn't on all the other ones before. It's kind of the same aspect of their multiplier up here. If there's a group, it does 41.85. If it's a single enemy, 59. Same thing for the supernova down here. So there's that to consider, but it is AoE. It's going to hit everybody regardless with 100, but then if it's single, 150. So just keep that in mind. If your Nova does this much damage during a certain part and you're like, why it did so much more during this enemy, that's because it's probably single target or an AoE group. Like I said in the beginning, it's a non-mercy pull. This banner is pretty good. The banner's nice at least. You do get a guaranteed trait medal every pull, and you're going to need that if you want to get the special TVA medal. Terra, Ventus, and Aqua all in one. Which, it doesn't matter if you get 3 Terras. Make sure all 3 of those Terras have 5 traits activated, and you're good to go. You could get 1 of each, all activate 5 traits, but it doesn't have to be 1 of each. You could have 2 Ventus, 1 Aqua. As long as they have all their traits filled up, you will get the special medal down here with that really cool Birth by Sleep poster. I think there's a collector's edition that actually has this as a case or book art. I forget which one it is, but I've seen this before. This medal I absolutely love. It looks great. I would love to have this medal, but the amount it costs to get this medal. Unlock 5 traits each on 3 medals of any combination of the Terra, Ventus, or Aqua during the above campaign. So these will be distributed out afterwards. You won't get it right away. So if you do pull 3 of the Birth by Sleep trio and you trait them fully, you won't get this until halfway through January. So don't try to get it right away. If you want, if you have the jewels and you think you're super lucky, then try to if you want to, but don't do it right away. Wait for the last day. It has like 12 days on the banner. You're pretty much good to just sit back and relax. You actually could skip out on all these and not be too affected in the game. It is the first tier 9s, and remember, first tier 9s does not mean they're the best tier 9s. It is far from that. They have lots of utility, but when you've got buffers like Kyrie and Xion, does utility really matter? Does it really matter? The only thing that matters is that uprate going on, which is probably going to be the biggest thing. But then again, if you got extra attack on your Kingdom Hearts 3 Kyrie, it doesn't matter what you get on from this point on. Even medals that are still the high score challenge medals are going to do perfectly fine for you. They're probably going to update the content at a certain point where it feels like you need the tier 9s. And that just means you miss out on a little quest here and there, but they're going to release more medals to balance that out. Because once the 12 days goes off on these medals and someone new comes in the game, do you really think they're not going to give those people medals to pass the current content? Of course they are. They're going to bring back Kyrie as a mercy pull for everyone, and they're going to bring out new tier 9s that are stronger than these ones or do something even better. So don't worry if you skip on this trio. Although it is Birth by Sleep, and a lot of people do love that game, and Aqua, of course. So waifus and husbandos are in here. So it's up to you guys what you want to do. Have fun with it. Like I showed you, Fairy Stars, it fits on the Starlight, another really good Keyblade. Setup Aqua could go here. You got Xion here, Ventus over here, and then you do all the, oop, come on. Boom. Again, a full Keyblade setup of all of this. It works out perfectly no matter where you put it on 2 of the best Keyblades in the game. Stroke of Midnight, a little bit different because Aqua has to be like over here. And then you have a reverse slot, which doesn't really work. Stroke of Midnight's one of the top 3 Keyblades for me. But Starlight and Fairy Stars works really well for all these medals. And they're all the heaviest hitters in the game. And you're guaranteed a trait roll every single pull. So this can become very incredible in the right person's hands. If you have the right luck and if you have enough jewels to go for all this, it could get scary. If you saw Fairy Stars or the current Starlight with the booster for this month, because it's in Union Cross, this is going to be kind of scary, guys. Like I just showed you, it's not going to have this week for PvP because we don't get that until PvP's done. But you do have everything else going on over here, which is, like I said, scary. Very, very scary. And because it's not here, just put whatever else over here or over here. Kyrie has Supernova, which gives you perfect buff. So whatever your uprate magic or uprate speed, boom. So yeah, that's the update, guys. That is a new Birth by Sleep trio. If I didn't cover everything, let me know down below if I missed something. I feel like I did, but hey, it's the first day of the year. Hopefully I didn't screw up anything. If you guys did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the like button. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll see you in the next one.